What is limiting you in your life that you feel you are ready to let go because it is no longer serving you? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at a tool that will help you release all that is no longer serving you. And this is what we're going to be looking at for the rest of the week. So good morning if you have just joined us. So when it comes to releasing a limiting belief, the theory is that 80% of releasing a limiting belief is mindset and 20% is mechanics. Any limiting belief that you have about yourself, releasing it comes down to 80% mindset and 20% mechanics. And a lot of people talk about how limiting beliefs really are just reflections, and this is interesting for you to write down. A limiting belief is a reflection of where you are lacking a particular skill. Or a limiting belief is where you believe that you are lacking in a particular attribute, a particular quality. So let's say, for example, you have a limiting belief that you are not a good salesperson, or you are not a good, I don't know, what would a particular skill be? Type in the comment section, give us some examples. What limiting beliefs do you have about you in particular to certain skills? Now, the reason why I say that is because there are two types of limiting beliefs according to this theory. The one limiting belief has to do with skills. And the thing is that we can learn absolutely everything. We can learn to do absolutely everything. So if we have a particular limiting belief, all we need to do is go out and learn the skill. We need to find somebody who can do it for us, find somebody who can teach us. So all of these things are possible. And this is really freeing. If you have a limiting belief, what is your limiting belief today that's no longer serving you? Look at whether that is something that you can learn. And then there's, of course, another limiting belief that's very disempowering, that has to do with you personally. It has to do with your character. It has to do with something that you cannot change, you cannot learn about yourself. And we've already looked at step 2 is sending that love, which is really great. But then what about the skill? What about the tool? How do we release that limiting belief that actually comes from a deeper place? It comes from an unconscious level. So are you excited to learn one technique, one skill today that'll help you release that limiting belief? Thumbs up if you are ready. Type in the comment section, I am ready. Are you ready to learn the skill today? I am ready in the comment section. Great. So this particular skill was proposed by Adam Mortimer. Adam Mortimer talks about how there are 5 different types of steps. There are 5 steps to releasing these limiting beliefs that we have. And this is what we're going to do in the next 4 videos, is look at different examples of how we can release our limiting beliefs. Because on Friday, my invitation to you is going to be to share in the group your steps to releasing limiting beliefs. So I'm going to be sharing mine. You all know what mine are. I'm going to be sharing different people's beliefs on how to release limiting beliefs. But I'm going to invite you at the end to write down what your releasing of limiting beliefs technique is going to be. And this is what's going to be powerful, is you're going to integrate these and create your own. And this is what I believe is the greatest way to really living in freedom. So this is exciting. I'm excited. Right, the first step, according to Adam Mortimer, is to identify. Now, what you might see is a lot of similarity. Identify. Awareness is always the power, isn't it? So being able to identify it. And he gives a great example. He talks about how what we have is we always have reactive ways of thinking. And the way that he explains this is by doing an example. Now, some of you may know this. But I'd like you to close your eyes and I'd like you to imagine that you are in this beautiful white room and all all around you in this beautiful white room, you just see this beautiful silk. Now there's lots and lots of silk everywhere, beautiful shapes, beautiful colors, beautiful textures. And just imagine that you're in this gorgeous room and there's lots and lots of silk around you. How does it feel when you touch it? And say out loud for me now, silk, silk, silk. We're going to do that for 10 seconds. Just say silk, 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 silk. Now in the comment section, write down, what do cows drink? Write it down now in the comment section. What do cows drink? Write it down. And what many people say automatically is they say milk. But the thing is, they don't drink milk, they drink water. Now this is a very common example that people use of how we can really see the world through a very conditioned view. We can see the world through a very particular way based on cognitive misperceptions that we have, cognitive kind of like illusions that are created. So it's important that what we do is we identify what it is that is limiting our way of thinking and being. In step number 2, he talks about rating according to the emotional charge between 0 and 10. So do you resonate with this limiting belief that you have about yourself? How much do you resonate with this limiting belief with regards to how it makes you feel between 0 and 10? It's interesting, I use a lot of this when I'm talking to my one-to-one clients, as I do this as we get to rate how it makes them feel. So theories go that when you're rating the emotional charge, it's the closest way for the mind to be able to associate with the unconscious mind and really to connect. So rating the emotions is quite important. Then number 3, he talks about the metaphor, and he talks about how powerful metaphors are as well, because they also help connect you to the unconscious mind. And when you think about this belief system, when you think about where it is in the body, connect with that feeling in the body, feel it, give it a color, give it a size, give it a shape, and really imagine that energy. And then what you do is you imagine that what you're doing is you're pulling out that energy from your body, and you're pulling it out from the area. And as you're pulling out the energy, this is the powerful thing, is you send it a message. You send a message to the unconscious mind that you want to turn off this charge. This trigger is no longer serving you. You want to be telling that energy that you no longer want that energy in your body. And this is the trigger for the unconscious mind, that you no longer want that, because this is what's causing the self-saboteur that is within your emotional energy. I don't know if I like the word turning off so much that Adam Mortimer uses, because I believe it's not really about turning that energy off. It's about allowing that energy to be released in the flow, because if you're turning it off, it's almost like you're blocking that flow. But yes, I do like the idea, and I do this where we release that energy. We release it out into a different form. You know, any energy is just a form. Then he talks about 4, which is to re-rate it. Now, once you've pulled out that energy, what number does it now have? And he talks about how it might be lower, but it might not be 0. But to do this continually until that energy has released, until it is 0 again. Then step number 5 is to rinse and repeat. So to do this again until the energy is 100% clear, until it is a 0. And how do we know that we have released this limiting belief? He talks about how you try and feel this emotion again. And if this emotion is, if this trigger, if this energy is 100% left your body, if this emotional limiting belief is no longer there, that trigger, then you won't be able to feel it. It won't be possible to feel this energy again. So these are the 5 steps that Adam Mortimer talks about in terms of releasing all the different belief systems that no longer serve you. So any questions, I invite you to write them in the comments section now, and either myself or people in the online academy would love to answer them. The willingness within me to uncover and create my own technique to release belief systems that no longer serves me greets the same willingness within you. And remember that which works for you today may not work for you in a year's time, because as you are releasing, as you're peeling off the onion layers, different techniques work for you. Different techniques are more powerful, less powerful. So it really is just a journey of creating a space for you today in what works for you, in releasing so that you can live and experience your ultimate sexual expression. The light within me breeds the light within you. And I wish you a wonderful day exploring all the different types of techniques that there are for you to release. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye.